Hello, today, we're going to keep exploring the AI series LED props in more detail. If you haven't yet watched the very first beginner's video, I strongly recommend starting with that one first. You can find the link to it right down in the description. In this video we will continue exploring the web interface for control props. We will study in detail all its functions and capabilities. We'll also take a closer look at key things to know when using your props, tips to work safely and avoid common mistakes. We are constantly improving our props, adding fresh features and enhancing what's already there. So, if you are watching this video long after its original release, be aware that your interface or certain features might look different or may not be fully covered here. Please take a moment to check for any significant updates or changes made since the video was published, and keep those in mind as you continue working. Most of the information presented here will still be relevant. I'll be showing everything using a pair of POI, but the instructions apply to other types of our LED props as well. I'll be working from a laptop, since it's a bit more convenient due to the larger screen. But you can do the exact same things on a smartphone, it's just slightly. So, let's turn on our props first. Let me remind you that to do this we need to hold the button for more than 2 seconds. First on one device, and then on the second. Let's immediately put the props into standby mode so that they don't consume the battery more economically. And let's take our laptop. Alright, so we need to connect to the prop. To do that, remember, we first need to find the Wi-Fi network called PixelNet in the list. Let me point out something important right away. If you forget to connect to the prop, you won't be able to access the web interface. Let me show you an example. Right now, I'm not connected to the prop, so I'll try entering its web interface address. We have two options for that, pixel.local and 192.168.4.1. Since I'm not connected to the prop's Wi-Fi network, I'll type in the address and press enter. And as you can see, nothing loads. So, if you can't open the prop's web interface, the very first thing to check is whether you're connected to PixelNet. Let's connect now. Open your Wi-Fi settings, find the PixelNet network, and connect to it. Since I've connected before, my device doesn't ask for a password. One more tip here, pay attention to the address bar. Some browsers like to change it automatically and add extra characters. So always make sure the address is correct, or even better, type it in again manually. In my case, the address is correct, pixel.local. Now I can press enter, and as you can see, the web interface loads. Keep in mind that when you connect directly to the prop, your laptop or phone will not have internet access. This is normal. I'll explain later how to avoid that if needed. Alright, let's explore the prop's web interface in more detail. In the main window, we have just a few buttons. As we learned earlier, the big round button in the center starts playing the show program on the prop. If we press it now, the show will start. We can also use it to stop playback. You can move to any point in the track by dragging the playhead and pressing play. If you want to restart the show from the beginning, just move the playhead all the way to the start and press play again. Below the track bar, you can see the name of the current show program. By default, when you first get your prop, it comes with only one show program loaded. You can store up to 10 different programs in total. Click on this line and you'll see the full list of available programs. As I said earlier, by default there's just one. In the list, each program is shown with its number, its name, and the name of the music track it's based on. As you can see, the other 9 slots are empty right now, so we can't select them. On either side of the play button, there are two more buttons. One is for settings, we'll get to that later. The other is for AI show program creation, which we already saw briefly in the previous video. This time, we'll take a much closer look at it. Let's press the AI button to open the Smart Show creation mode. It will start loading the current program, so we'll need to wait for all images to appear. Once everything is loaded, scroll up to the top of the AI editor. Here we can see all the tools available. At the very top is the music track the current show is based on. If needed, you can choose a different track here. You can upload music in various formats, including MP3. Let's pick a different file as an example. Once we select it, the system will analyze the track, and we can immediately start building a new program for it. Before generating a new program, you can adjust its creation settings. Click on Change Settings to open the extra options. Let's open the first section, Program. Here we see the program slot settings. Right now, slot 1 is selected. But we can choose any other of the 10 slots. Let's choose slot 2, for example. We can also give the program a custom name to make it easier to find later. Let's call it My Program. There's also a clear slot button here, which deletes the program from that slot if you don't need it anymore. Below that, we have the program generation settings. A program can be generated either based on the music or based on a set duration. If you choose duration mode, you set the exact length and the number of images. If you choose music mode, the AI will analyze the track's tempo and structure, then place the images automatically. In this case, the only thing you can adjust is the image change speed. If you lower the speed, you'll see that the display time for each image increases, and fewer images are used over the whole track. You can adjust this to match your preference. If you want full manual control, switch to time mode, then set the display duration for each image and the total number of images in the program. For now, let's stick to music mode but reduce the number of images a bit. You can also tell the AI to prefer images of a certain color palette. To do that, tick the box and choose your desired color. The AI will then try to select images close to that color. Below, you can select the image themes you want to use in your program. There are several sets to choose from, and you can pick multiple at once. Over time, you'll get familiar with which images belong to which sets and find the ones you like best. Finally, you can add your own images and text. You can upload image files in different formats, and you can also type in any text you like. To add text, simply click the plus icon. Let's type my text here as an example. If you want to add another text block, just press the plus again. You can also add pictures right here. You can add multiple images at once, or just a single one. For instance, I'll start by adding one image. And now 3 at once. AI mode will automatically arrange your images and text throughout the show. You can also create images using the built-in AI generator. I'll talk about that a little later, since it requires an internet connection and isn't available right now. Once you've set everything up, we can have AI mode build the show for us. Click Apply Settings. The interface will warn you that any unsaved changes in the current program will be lost. Click Confirm, and the show creation process begins. Building the show can take a bit of time. This depends on the number of images you've added and on the sets you've chosen. The more sets, the longer it will take. Now AI mode has finished generating our show. Let's have a look. Here's the text we added. And here's our image. As you can see, most of the images match the color tone we asked for. I can also see images from several different sets. Just a reminder, the new show program appears in the center. Each thumbnail has a small number at the bottom. This tells you exactly which image is being shown. I'll point this out again when we start playback. The show is ready, so now we need to save it to our devices. Click Save and wait while it uploads. You'll see the progress right on the button. Along with the images, the music track is uploaded too. If you've chosen a new track, the save process will take a little longer. In the status bar, you'll see confirmation that the show was saved to both devices. Let's close AI mode for now. You'll get a warning about unsaved changes, but remember, if you don't refresh the tab or change the program slot, you can reopen AI mode and continue editing. We'll confirm for now, and I'll show you how the playback looks. During playback, you'll see the current image number on the thumbnail. On the props, you can check how the image looks in motion. If you don't like it, note its number or go through the whole show, write down the numbers you want to replace, and then come back to edit them. Let's try editing this show. Open AI mode again. All of our settings are still here. As long as the tab stays open and you don't switch program slots, everything is preserved. Besides the program in the center, you'll see alternate image options on the sides. You can refresh these if you don't like them. First, change the generation settings, for example, pick different sets. Now click Update Variants instead of Apply Settings. This way, the central show stays the same, but the side suggestions update. Updating options also takes a moment. AI mode first analyzes which images would work best in each spot, then it offers new suggestions. Here we go, the variants have updated, so we can replace any image we want. You can also view the show in a different layout. At the bottom, in the status bar, there's a Show button. Click it to open the timeline view. Here you'll see the music waveform, and the show displayed as a row of thumbnails. They're placed on the timeline according to their playback times. If needed, you can use the scroll to adjust the scale of the show program view and navigate through it. This way, you can clearly see where each image is placed within the program. Beyond automatic generation, you can build and fine-tune the show manually. Select any image to open its settings. From here, you can move the image up or down in the sequence. Click the arrows to shift it earlier or later in the timeline. You can also change the image's playback duration, make it longer or shorter. When you change the duration, the repeat count updates automatically. Repeats are how many copies of the image are shown in that time slot. You can also adjust stretching, which changes the playback speed. Depending on the setting, the image will appear more compressed or stretched in motion. You can adjust the brightness to make the image lighter or darker. Change the saturation, lower for neutral tones, higher for richer colors. You can also shift the hue to completely change the image's color. Important note: if you change an image's duration, the show might fall out of sync with the music. Keep that in mind if timing with the beat is important. You can also replace the current image with your own file. Click Replace and choose your file. The new image will appear right away. There's also a black button. Clicking it replaces the image with a black frame. During that frame, the props won't light up, handy for creating a complete blackout. You can delete an image too, which shortens the show. That's useful when building a program manually by time and you want to remove extra images. To select another image for editing, simply click on it again. Once you're finished adjusting the settings, click the same image one more time to close the editing window. You can also select images directly from the timeline. Simply move along the timeline and choose any image you want to change. The timeline window can be collapsed or expanded at any time. Now, since we've just made changes to the show program, let's save it. After that, I'll show you how to switch between different show programs if you have several stored on your device. I'll close the Smart Mode window. Earlier, when we generated a new program, we selected the second slot, so now we can switch between two programs. Let's pick another show program. At this point, the music track will begin loading. Every time you switch to a different show program, or the first time you open the web interface, the program itself won't be displayed right away, only the music will load, so the interface opens faster. To make the program appear, just enter the Smart AI mode. As you can see, the program is now loading. As I mentioned earlier, when you change the show program slot, the Smart Mode settings don't carry over, they're reset completely. So let's close Smart Mode and start playback. Now you can see the image thumbnails displayed. Let's open Smart Mode again and explore the extra features. Next to the Create and Save buttons, you'll notice additional buttons with 3 dots. Click the one next to Create. Here, you'll see a Create New button. It works exactly the same as the main Create button. There's also a Load from Device button. This lets you load a show program from the device. For example, if you've accidentally made changes to your program or you don't like the results, you can always revert to the original version stored on the device. By clicking this button, you'll reload the show program currently saved on the device. You can also open a show program from a file. After creating a program, you can save it as a file and load it later. For that, you'll need to use the 3-dot button next to Save button. From there, you can save the current program to a file. Another option, Save to this device, stores the file directly on the connected device. Now let's close Smart Mode and check out the settings. Here, we can adjust the brightness of the LED lights. Any changes are instantly visible on the devices. We recommend keeping the brightness at 100% or lower to extend the lifespan of the LEDs. However, if necessary, you can set it to maximum. Let's set it to 50% brightness. After that, click Apply. You'll notice green LEDs light up on your devices. This confirms the settings have been saved. If you don't see the green LEDs on one of the devices, just click Apply again. You can also connect your props to an external Wi-Fi access point. This can be useful in several situations. If you need internet access while working with your props, or if you have a lot of props, it's often faster and more convenient to work through a Wi-Fi access point. We'll connect the props to a Wi-Fi hotspot a bit later. Here, you can also change the interface language and adjust additional settings, which I'll cover in the next video. At the very bottom, inside a frame, you'll find information about your device, its model, firmware version, remaining battery charge, and available storage space for show programs. Now let's connect our props to a Wi-Fi access point. Here, you can see a list of all networks currently available. Select your network. Enter the password. And click Apply. The interface will warn you that after connecting to the network, the device will power off. Click Confirm. And you'll see the device turn off. In the web interface, you'll get a notification saying the connection to the device was lost. This is expected. After changing the Wi-Fi network, you always need to power the device back on. Let's switch our devices back into standby mode. Now you'll notice a change. Instead of a blue LED, we have a purple one. This means the devices are no longer creating their own pixel network. Since the devices are now connected to an external Wi-Fi access point, we need to connect our computer or phone to that same network. Let's do that now. We open the Wi-Fi list again. In my case, this network is already saved, so it connected automatically. Next, I need to access the props web interface. When you connect the props to an external Wi-Fi network, the web interface address changes. It's no longer the default one. From now on, you'll need to type pixel1.local. Please note this again. If you've connected the props to an external Wi-Fi network, the web interface address becomes pixel1.local. So, we enter the address, and the web interface opens again. The music track starts loading, and once that's done, we can test playback. As you can see, the show program is playing. Once again, the show program itself doesn't load into the interface right away, only the music does. If you want to see the images in the web interface, click the AI button. Wait for the program to load. Close Smart Mode. And then start playback again. This delay is intentional, it helps the interface load faster. Let's try switching to another show program. We click the show program name bar, select the second slot, and once it loads, we start playback. Now we're hearing a different track, but again, the images don't display until we load them via AI mode. So, we open AI mode, wait for the show program to load, close it, and press play. Now we can see the thumbnails. We are connected to an access point that has internet access. Let's try generating some images and see how the generation works. To do this, we go into the AI interface and click Change Settings. Then choose Add Images and select Generate Pictures. Here we need to enter a prompt for generation. Let's say we type rose, black background. In the second line, we can specify what we want to exclude from the image. Let's write that we don't want a vase in the picture. You can also choose one of 4 available styles. After that, click the Generate button. The generation process takes some time. As you can see, the image has been generated. We can enlarge it. To do this, simply open the picture in a new tab. Now we can view it in full size. Once we've generated some images, we can create a new show program. To do that, click Apply Settings. Confirm, and the show program will be created using the images we generated. Let's find the rose picture. Here it is. Let's move it to the beginning. And now we'll save the show program to our device. Let's close the smart mode and see how the generated image looks in action. As you can see, our image is now playing. I think we've figured out the basics of the web interface. Now let's take a closer look at some details when working with the prop. By default, the props comes with only one show program loaded. When we add another one, the way we control the device changes slightly. Let's start playback. Previously, when only a single show program was loaded, holding the button would first display a blue LED, followed by the charge indicator. This allowed us to either activate standby mode or turn the device off. Now things work a little differently. Since we have 2 show programs loaded, we gain the ability to choose between them. To do this, we first need to unlock the program selection. As before, we press and hold the button. But this time, instead of only showing the blue LED, we will first see a green LED, and then the blue one. At this point, we need to release the button when the green LED is displayed. Once we release it, the program selection becomes unlocked. From now on, whenever we briefly press the button, a menu will appear showing the number of the currently selected show program. As you can see, we can now switch between the first and the second program. In this case, we've selected the second one. And immediately after that, playback begins. And now, if we want to use this show program, for example during a performance, we first select it in advance. Then we switch the prop into standby mode. So now, when we start the show, it will be the second program that launches. If we need the first show program to run instead, we also begin by unlocking the selection. Then we choose the first show program, and again switch the prop into standby mode. Now, when we press the button, the first show program will start. I think I've covered everything I wanted to explain in this video. If you still have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Over time, we'll do our best to expand and update these instructions. I also recommend watching the next video, which is aimed more at professionals. In it, we'll go into greater detail about advanced settings for the prop, as well as how to create more complex show programs for it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.